Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pickdawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Sunday, November 9th, 2025. Now, if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily Bank Shot best bet in college hoops, as well as my NFL plays on Sunday, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alright, here we go. Here are the games for Sunday in college basketball. First up, we've got Indiana and Marquette. This one is 1 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN. It's a neutral site game at the United Center, part of the Waterkeeper Alliance Invitational. Now, this is an interesting matchup because these are two programs that, coming off down years, Indiana, definitely a basketball program that looks for a lot more than 19 wins and a no NCAA tournament berth. They missed the tournament last year, one and done in the Big Ten tournament. And then you got on the other side Marquette. They were a 7 seed in the Big Dance, but they expect to be a top 5 seed at worst. Almost every year we've seen them have a lot of top 3, top 5 seeds under Shaka Smart, and overall in the last decade plus. So they had ended up losing 7 conference games. They lost in the Big East tournament by 16 to St. John's, and then were one and done in the Big Dance, losing to New Mexico of all teams, a Mountain West team. So both programs looking for bounce back seasons. Marquette brought back a lot of production from last year's team. Again, it wasn't a great team. It was a pretty solid team, but not the level that Marquette wanted. Indiana, basically a complete rebuild. A new head coach, new system, and a new roster. But that roster is number 1 in the nation in Division I experience. This is a team full of players with multiple years of Division I experience, talented players from different styles that you definitely wonder at the beginning of the year, is the chemistry a concern? But then you look at that first matchup against Alabama A&M. We were on Indiana in that game. They opened as like a 24-point favorite, I believe, closed around 30. They won by 40 plus, so they covered the spread with ease. Just a dominant showing, 47-point win. Offense was rolling, the defense was excellent. And I know this is, Marquette is not Alabama A&M, and this is a neutral site game, not a home game, but I'm really high on Indiana this year. I think that they are undervalued and underrated going into the season. I think that this is a very solid price that we can get with the Hoosiers in a matchup like this. And I'm going to take advantage of these types of prices with Indiana while we can get them. I'm going to take Indiana in this one at the neutral site. Next up, we've got Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. This one is going to be 2 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN2. Now, this is a true home game for Oklahoma State, and I think it's a lot different, with Texas A&M playing on the road than it is Indiana at the neutral site. Both Indiana and Texas A&M are experienced teams in terms of D1 experience, but a lot of not a lot of returning production. Pretty much a new roster with a new head coach, a new style. And I think that could be an issue, especially as a favorite on the road against the Oklahoma State team that I think is underrated, undervalued right now going into their second game of the year. I was impressed with their first victory of the season over Oral Roberts, 95 points in a 24-point win. It's not the same Oral Roberts team that was 6 years ago when they were the Cinderella in the NCAA tournament, but still, a strong win. The offense has been an issue for this program in the last decade. That we've seen some pretty ugly shooting teams, some just bad offenses in general from Oklahoma State. But I think this year they will have one of their better offensive seasons we've seen, and I think they're going to be competitive in this one. I think that A&M is still kind of an unknown right now. Like I said, new style under Bucky McMillan. I'm not looking to back them on the road in this, and especially this type of number right now. So I'm going to take Oklahoma State in this one. I think the value's there. Next up, we've got FAU, Florida Atlantic, taking on Liberty. This one is 6 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on YouTube. I think it's a pretty brutal spot for FAU, having to play the second half of a back-to-back with playing Charleston on Saturday, now Liberty Sunday. This is a home game for Liberty in the Field of 68 tip-off. And with a lot of the show today, we've talked about experience, Division I experience, and returning production. Liberty's got it both. They're number 2 in Division I experience, top 10 in returning production, and they're a team built for NCAA tournament play. They were the 12 seed, or one of the 12 seeds in the tournament last year, won the Conference USA. They did get crushed in that first round matchup with Oregon, but now returning almost the entire roster and a system that works, a really well-coached team with the rest advantage, playing at home. I just think there's a lot to like about Liberty's chances in this one. It's still a pretty reasonable number. I think Liberty wins this game comfortably. I trust their offense especially. A really good shooting team. It takes care of the basketball going back to last year. I'm going to roll with Liberty in this one, lay the points. Next up, we've got Southern Miss and South Carolina. This one is 6:30 Eastern on the SEC Network. Right now, I am looking to fade South Carolina when we see, numbers like this. I just don't think that this team should be laying this type of price, even against a not so great Southern Miss team. I've said that the Sun Belt is one of the toughest conferences to predict this season. Southern Miss has been, towards the bottom of a lot of people's projected standings, and for good reason. Not a team that we, expect to win the Sun Belt at all, but still, it's a conference that's, it's up in the air. I think that Southern Miss will be a lot better than what we saw last year. Last year was a pretty rough season for them. That first game of the year at Buffalo, it's not a great Buffalo team, but it's still a true road game, and your season opener is still a competitive game in the end. Fundamentally, not their best showing, but great shooting night, especially from two-point range, 66%. I think Southern Miss is going to be able to hit enough buckets in this game to keep it within the number. Just too many points for a South Carolina team that I think will finish dead last in the SEC and will be one of the weaker Power 4 schools. We cashed with North Carolina A&T plus the points. That did get pretty dicey in the end, but still a cash nonetheless, and I think we cash here with Southern Miss plus the points. And the final game we're to talk about for the Sunday card, and by the way, not my favorite card in college basketball. I'll be treading lightly in college hoops. Just don't see a ton of value on the board, and like I said, no top 25 teams going at it. Smaller card, so definitely not the best we've seen this week. But in this one, Washington and Baylor. Washington did not impress me last time out against Denver. They were a steep favorite. I liked Washington in that game. I laid the points as a premium selection. Didn't come close. It was just a 14-point win for the Huskies, and this is a team that now in its first true road game of the season, I definitely have some concerns with. Already not really the most experienced team in the country. Baylor, you can make the argument, not a lot of returning production, but a lot of D1 experience, a great home crowd, a great offense, very, very well coached under Scott Drew, a team that can really extend leads. It's kind of similar to what we see in the NBA with teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder, where all of a sudden, you're up by 5 and then you're up by 15. Baylor goes on runs where we just see them hit, a ton of threes in a row, play lights out defense, force turnovers. They're a great rebounding team, and I think that they'll be able to score enough in this game to cover the number in the end. So I'm going to take Baylor in this one and lay the points over Washington. And that's it. Those are the games for Sunday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at Pickdawgz.com, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.